Hello, everyone. It's John, your Indian Cine-MANAIAC, with another 10ish-minute review. Now, the last one we did, my brother and I did Polite Society, and there was a lot of comments about who actually produced it. So I guess we messed that up a little bit. It seemed to be a British production. It was directed by a Pakistani, and it definitely had Bollywood vibes. Now, that's not to say it was a Bollywood production. It wasn't, but it looked like they were trying to hit all the genres. So Ralph and I just wanted to make sure that we didn't do that intentionally. In fact, I had a difficult time finding who actually produced that. But again, I enjoyed it. So whatever. I mean, I really did like the movie. It was very different. So anyway, so listen, before we get to the 10ish-minute review, which you don't know what it is yet because I haven't told you and I didn't announce it last time, please, as always, subscribe, hit the notification button, and smash that like button. Okay, the film I'm going to review in just about 10 minutes is Vikram Vedha, which was, and I'm doing the 2017 Tamil version. I know there was another version with Hrithik Roshan, which I am going to watch. But I watched the 2017 version. Now, I saw Vikram, and I loved Vikram. I thought it was great, and that lead actor was wonderful. So I was kind of expecting the same thing. And this film was directed by Pushkar, one-word names, Pushkar and Gayatri. They directed it. It starred Madhaven from Three Idiots, and I couldn't believe that was him. He looked very different. Vijay Sethupathi, who was in Super Deluxe. He played the father that was now a woman. Shadra Srinath, who was in Jersey, and Kathir. So it opens up with an animated fable, which is based on the Batal Pachisi, which is Vatala telling stories to Vikram. This is Indian mythology. I think there's like 25 of them. So at the beginning of it, there's a little animated tale of that mythology, because in essence, that's what this movie's about. It's about Vedha telling Vikram tales about his life. It starts off kind of interesting with cops coming in and like a raid and covering everything up. So they appear to be bad cops. That's how it comes across anyway. So overall about this movie, I'm not going to go into a deep dive on a recap because most of you have probably seen this. But, so I already said I love Vikram. I love the action in Vikram. So, of course, I'm expecting this to be an action film. And for the first 15, 20 minutes or so, I'm like, okay, so this is going to be corrupt cop movies with very little action whatsoever. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to slog through this one because it was so different from Vikram. Then as I started to get into it, because it really became a character study of the two guys, Vikram and Vedha. And it was their dynamic. And there was a lot of twists. So there's going to be some spoilers here. But there was a lot of twists and turns in the movie. But in essence, that's really it's the movie is about these two guys. And I thought they were both very good. But the guy who played Vedha, Vijay, was he stole the movie. He was great. I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Blacklist with James Spader. He plays Red Reddington. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, even when he gave himself up and he puts his hands up. He was just a wonderful, wonderful character. Bad guy, right? A bad guy with honor. Could be vicious when he wanted to. Very funny. One-liners when he was talking to Vikram. That back and forth was great. And so through the course of the movie, Vedha hooks up with Vikram, and every time they get together, either because he was arrested or whatever, he tells him a story. He goes, let me tell you a story. And he flashes back because they're trying to solve a murder. His brother gets murdered by Vikram. And Vikram thinks he's a bad guy because he was part of the raid. Well, then you find out, it unfolds that he was an innocent. And Vikram says, I can look people in the eye and know if they're innocent or not, and I've never killed an innocent. Well, he finds out that wasn't true. He did. It wasn't, it wasn't his fault because the person was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the story unfolds, and you understand how the brother ended up there and the brother's wife. And Vedha is helping Vikram unravel the mystery through these stories. And the stories also flash back. So Vedha, who's got the character arc throughout the entire movie, starts off as an earnest, pretty good guy, young. And then he gets involved with bad guys. And then he becomes a Don. And he ages too in it. And the performance was really great, like I said, but very funny. I mean, this guy was great. I really enjoyed his performance. And then there's a big climax where should I give this twist away? Yeah, I'm going to give the twist because I didn't see it coming. So throughout the movie, the bad guys know there's somebody ratting them out. And the cops know somebody's ratting them out. So there's a mole on both sides, and they do a pretty good job of hiding who the moles are. Although I kind of knew who the bad guy mole was. I could kind of tell that. The cop mole, I didn't see that. And it ends up, again, spoilers. One of his really good friends who gets killed in the movie ends up being a cop on the take, which you don't find out till 3/4 of the movie's done. And he tries to redeem himself. Let's put it that way. And he ends up dying as a result of it. But the big twist, which happens at the end, and it's the bad guy, it's Vedha who figures it out. But he gives Vikram enough clues to figure it out. And this is the standoff at the end. His entire unit, his badass cop unit, are all on the take. And they're the ones that got this whole thing rolling. And he finds that out at the very end. So there's a standoff in a big circle, and they all got their guns pointed at Vikram. And that's when Vedha and him take on all these bad guys. And that's actually, it's a great action scene, but it's also a very funny scene because of the interplay between Vedha and Vikram. And it ends with a great, so now they've done this, they've solved it, they've solved the mystery of how the brother died. They know who all the moles are, and they all get theirs. But there's a gun standoff between Vedha and Vikram, and they're just pointing their guns at each other. And then it fades to black, and all you hear is Vedha's laugh, which is a great laugh. And that's how it ended. Now, I have no idea if they made a sequel to this, but I would love to know, because his character was just, it was great. They were both good. And like I said, Madhaven, at first I didn't even recognize him. I do want to ask a question, though. What is it with Indian films and sunglasses? Why do all the protagonists, all the male heroes, always wear sunglasses, like almost throughout the entire movie? Is that a thing? I'm just curious. If you have a thought on that, share it in the comment section. A couple things I really liked, like they have this song, and this is something that I've noticed between the Indian Bollywood movies and Tamil. Like even the musical number that they did was like grounded in reality. It was a bunch of guys in a bar singing a song. And it seemed real. Do you know what I mean? Not like this big production number thing that you normally see. But there was a line that I really loved at the party. Somebody said while they were after they were done dancing, if you make a movie about us, it will win an Oscar, about all the bad guys. I just loved that. I thought that was great. There was a couple of really great scenes. And look, the whole movie's about good versus bad, and that it's not black and white. In fact, there's a whole color scheme throughout the movie that one's wearing white, one's wearing darker clothes to signify good versus bad. And then in the end, they're both wearing kind of gray. Because in this movie, there is no real good people. There is no real bad people. I mean, there are some, but the main characters, there's a lot of gray area. So it was a good message about the movie. There's also a great fight scene in the rain in between the shipping containers that was really, really well done, really beautifully shot. And again, rain plays an important part in most of the movies that we've seen. I thought that was great. And there's a big gang war on a beach, and it was a beautiful shot with all these, you've got gangs on either side. It's a big gang war. I thought that was really cool. It was interesting where it was filmed, because I don't think I've seen anything like that before. It looked a little not poor, but it definitely wasn't like, middle class to higher class. It was definitely some rough areas where they were. So I thought that was something I haven't seen before. And so I guess that's really it. I mean, this really is going to be a short review, but I got to tell you, my first instinct was I wasn't going to like this movie because nothing was happening. And compared to Vikram that had nonstop action, I just was expecting something completely different. But as I got into the characters, and the two leads were great in this movie, I really liked this movie a lot as a character study. And they do keep you guessing on the twists and turns. So I appreciated that too. They weren't as easy to solve as most are. Yeah, a lot of you talked about this movie after I watched Vikram. So thanks for the recommendation. I still don't have a choice of movie for the next one. There's a couple I've got in mind. So I guess I'll just spring it on you. But I hope you enjoyed this shorter one. And if you haven't seen Vikram, check it out. I think you'll like it. So before I go, please, just a reminder, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and smash that like button. I will tell you this, I'm going to see the new Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise this weekend. I'll probably do a 10ish-minute review on that because Tom Cruise is the last movie star we have. And I love all the Mission Impossible movies. So that will probably be the next one. And then we'll do another Indian film after that. So thanks everybody for watching. This is John, your Indian Cine-MANAIAC. We will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.